Hello everyone, my name is Sam and today I will tell you about power, the kinds of power people use and abuse. First, what is power? A social psychologist define power as an ability to change and determine act other people uh, primary forces in human life. It's a really sensitive powers that we often use, and as social psychologists also write and feeling have no power. It's a really uncomfortable feelings. And now people often use to avoid uncomfortable emotion, and that's why people always try to use power in influence other people. Then what exactly is power? Now I will tell you guys. There are five basic categories of power. First is information power. Second is reference power. Third is legitimate power. Fourth is expert power. And the final one is reward or coercive power. First, I will tell you about information power. Now, some psychologists believe information power is the most effective power. A person who have information power that someone wants or need and that people and that person don't have the person they want, and they don't have the power, so they get jealous. Definitely in power, most people like to receive or have information. Having information increase person sense of power. People who have or give information, they can manipulate other people who don't have power, who don't have information power. When people receive information, they don't even know that they are being manipulated by the person that provided that information. For example, is that some news like newspaper, magazine, article web provided information that people read that information. In media often believe what they read, even many report on the internet. Second is reference power. A person reference power like a person who admire or want to behave like a particular person, a member of a particular group. And for example, like they want to behave or support a soccer team, a group of friends, etc. And they often identify strongly with someone and want to be like that particular friend or rock star. If someone if a person who identify other person, they have power over you. They can influence your action and behavior. Many people imitate and controlled by people that they are being identified. Now I will tell you a really sad example about this power. Some example like in Guyana, there are more than 900 people who committed suicide by their legitimate leader. He told them to kill themselves, and they did what he told them to do because he had reference power over them. They identify with him, they believe in him, and what he tells them to do. The referent power can be used in good and evil purposes, and we need to be aware of those who have referent power over us. The first one is legitimate power. The government official usually exercise us in so-called legitimate power. For example, it's like they decide to raise the taxes on people or go to the war. Most people, but not all of them, will do the government. Most people, not all, will do what the government tells them to do. The police also has a lot of legitimate power. One psychologist report on an experiment. This type, an example of this type about this type of power. A researcher asked people on the street to move away from their post stop. And every day he dressed in different clothes. He dressed in everyday clothes. A few people followed his request to move away from the post stop. And in the last day, he dressing in a uniform. Most people follow his request and move away from the bus stop. The uniform gives that researcher a look of legitimate power. People obey him and saw the uniform. The fourth one is the expert power. Expert is a person who has skill in some area like science or sport. When a person knows a lot about something like computers or car, many people will impress in their knowledge and expertise. Some experts use skills or knowledge to power and influence other people. They can use it for money and admiration. In other words, some experts use the power to gain. In other words, they often use the expert to gain power. And the last power is reward or coercive power. This is used by people. This people like use. This is all sometimes used by people like they want to reward or punish another person like for their action or behavior. They're giving a rude word to change that people behavior, because this offer the people chance and get something. Giving punishment may or may not cause the powerful people to do something. Their changes may not last very long. People use its coercive power may also carefully power for the person. This is something like this help to does or change his or her action or behavior. Then the powers comes from many forms. May come from having information other people want or need, reference. They also may come from reference for other people. or may come from heavy official legitimate uh, po- uh, position authority, like a teacher in a classroom, a boss in the company, etc. They also may come from skills or expertise, and also come from reward or coercive. This is really important to be aware that people will try to exercise or use one of these power in the future. Thank you for listening to my hour summary. See you later.